with reality TV world.
Hi, David. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Congratulations on making it so far.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, I saw after the finale, during the press conference you did, you said that you felt a sense of relief. Just wondering if you could elaborate on that a little bit. Why were you feeling that?
Well, since this whole thing has lasted so long, since, the first audition was in January, and we hadn't, been living at home since the beginning of February, and that's how long we've been working every week for each performance each week, and, having to, compete in a way, even though I try not to really look at it as competing against other people, more against myself. Each week, and, as the weeks went on, we had more songs each week to have to learn along with other things. And with this final week, it was the busiest of all, and it was hard to find time to even rehearse and stuff, so along with school and everything else going on, and so on that Tuesday night, I tried to make sure I didn't regret anything I did, and so I think I did that, and it was such a relief to have, just feel good about what I did, and that the fact that was the last impression I gave on the show, and there's no more, the competition is all over, and now it's time to really focus on music.
Okay. So for my follow-up, you just touched upon school. What's your plans moving forward? I mean, do you plan on finishing up high school? Do you think you'll go to college? Do you think you'll work on an album first? What are your plans moving forward?
Well, I'd like to keep trying to do school while I work on music. That's kind of what I've been doing through this show. Every day I still have to do school, and even after this interview I have to go to school. But I should think school is really important. It was my main priority before this, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get anywhere with music, but I was still hoping for something. And just even if music does turn out to go somewhere for me, you never know how long it'll last. And so I just want to make sure I have something to back me up on that, because, I want to do music all my life. I just don't know if I'll be able to make a living off of it for the rest of my life. And so I'd like to have something else to be able to do. And, I'm still looking at options and careers that I'd be interested in the future.
All right. Well, best of luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next is Hal Bodeker with the Orlando Sentinel.
To follow on that, David, what careers are you interested in? I've kind of changed my mind here and there. Lately, what I find is really interesting is that ear, nose, throat doctor thing, which I know would take a lot of work and education, but I think it's something that really interests me, because it's something that helps people who've had the same problems as me, with the whole hearing and nose congestion and problems with your voice, and to be able to help people with, it's just something I can really relate to people with, because it's I've had so many issues with that stuff, and so it'd be great to study into that more and be able to help out with all those problems and also learn about it. Can I ask you, I know a lot of people were disappointed that you didn't win, that they thought that you had just been fantastic on the last night. What would you say to them, and what was the high point of the show for you?
Well, can you repeat the question?
Sure. I guess what would you say to people who were ardent fans of yours, who thought that you had done the best job, who were disappointed that you didn't win, and what was the high point of the show for you?
Well, to the people who have been supporting me so much, I just want to thank them, first of all, just because, it means more than anything to know that people are appreciating the hard work that we put into this, and I want them to know that I'm just feeling great about it. The fact that Cook won, I think he deserved it so much, and he just proved it week after week that he, just like, that guy, he deserves to be the American Idol. It's from even early in the competition, and he's such a great guy too, and my main priority wasn't to win the competition, but it was just to do my best, because, you can suck and people can vote enough for you to win, and that wouldn't feel very good. But, but I think we both gave it all. We just poured it all onto that stage on Tuesday night, and we both feel really great about it. And, I don't think I could have done anything better or changed anything to, make me feel any better about what I did. And, just that, winning the competition not winning the competition won't, limit me from trying to create an album and write stuff, and I think this has just been such a great opportunity to open all those doors that weren't open and available before this all happened, and to make it to the top 2. I don't think there's any reason to be disappointed in that.
Thank you. You were terrific.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next we'll go to Rhonda Cloutier with the Walton Sun.
Hi, David. Congratulations.
Hi, thank you.
You were just, your voice was so beautiful Tuesday night. I really felt that you did an outstanding job.
Oh, thank you.
I want to go back a little bit to Top 20 Week, which to me was one of the best moments of live TV when you were caught on camera with the tears and embrace between you and Alex Andreeva. And I thought she went home way too early. But can you tell me what caused your intense reaction? Have you heard from her since then, and any chance you might sing together in the future?
I have, texted her every now and then, and she's called a few times since. But, she was one of the kids who I'd spent a lot of time with because of school, both her and Elena. And we just all bonded and got really close and all understood each other because we all had school along with everything else going on. And she was someone that I just got along with really quickly in the competition for some reason. And so it was hard to see her leave when it was so unexpected for me. And then, I thought I was doing pretty well, handling it pretty well until she started singing the song, which is, "If You Leave Me Now." I was like, oh my gosh, how ironic. That's not a good song for her to be singing right now.
Right. I heard you.
And I was a little embarrassed because I'm like, oh gosh, I'm crying on TV and none of my friends have ever seen me cry or anything. It's just, but it was hard. I couldn't help it. And, even though I was embarrassed, I just, couldn't hold it back.
Well, I think you endeared a lot of people with that. You really did. And a follow-up question. I just wanted to ask about on the tour. Will you be playing the piano on tour at all?
I've thought about it. I might. We're still kind of trying to figure out that, like, settling the songs, and I've thought about a few songs that I would enjoy to play piano with, though, and it's just a matter of finding time to fit piano into the schedule because, with this whole experience, it's so hard to find time to practice an instrument, especially with piano when I don't have one here.
Right.
And so I've gotten a little tighter than I'm not as loose as I was before, and I didn't really consider myself, the greatest pianist in the world or anything before this. So it was a risk I took on in the show trying to do it, because when you play an instrument, it gives you a whole new sense of connection to the song you're doing, because it's like not only are you, it's like you have, the music you're singing to is at the tip of your fingers, it's like it's in your hands, literally. And so it's a different feel, but it's something I definitely want to continue to practice and work on, because I still do get a little distracted as I'm playing, and I don't want the piano and the focus on playing the piano to distract myself from connecting with the song the way I can without having to play. But it's definitely something I want to keep working on, because it's something I really enjoy to do, and hopefully with this, big break of rehearsal time before the tour starts will allow me to not have to worry so much and not have to learn a song in just a few days before performing it live on show, along with trying to arrange the song and figure out what to do best with it to give it your all on stage.
You did a great job on the piano.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the season listening to you. And best of luck to you.
Oh, thank you.
Next is Jill Alfonso with My Paper.
Hey, David.
Hi.
Hey, I'm wondering what the best advice the judges was that they gave you.
You know, I always really enjoy when they mentioned the fact that they could feel that I was connecting with the song and that they could feel it too, like when, you know, Paula would say that and when Randy would say that was the bomb, and or I don't know, it didn't really make sense when he spoke sometimes, but you know, even just when they can tell that I really felt the song I was singing means a lot to me, but also when they have advice to give too helps a lot. Just even the smallest of advice, just because it any piece of advice wants me to do better, and it's, you know, it's great when people let you know what you could work on, because, you know, you can't do better when you're not aware of the things you can work on.
And what was the thing that you really took away with you? What was the piece of advice that really struck you?
I'm not sure if there's anything that really struck me. Maybe just remembering to something Paula said was just to really enjoy being on the stage and to remember why, you know, that just reminded me, like, you know, this is, you're singing, this is the chance of a lifetime, and you have had it every week, being able to perform for so many people each week and be able to share what you love to do. And just to remember, you know, because it was a time when it was getting pretty rough, and she just said to just remember to enjoy it. And so it's like, you know, she's right. This is such a great opportunity, and I just have to remember to stay away from getting too technical with singing, and to remember to have fun up there.
Thanks. And last question from me. Was it really hard to hear your dad criticized?
I hadn't really heard much of it until later on. I tried to stay away from the press, and my dad also. He understood that I didn't like to hear anything going on in the news about me, good or bad, just because I didn't want it to distract me or let it go to my head or anything like that, because I just wanted to stay myself and how I was at the beginning of the competition. Before all this happened, I wanted to keep who I was, you know, the normal teenage David. But you know, in interviews and stuff, it started coming up, and it was just kind of strange, because they're really weird things, like him. But I heard one thing was like he refused to give me water or something like that. And it's just like, you know, that's the weirdest thing. I mean, I'm 17, and you know, if I want water, I'm pretty sure I would just go get it anyway. It's not like. And then another thing was like he made me cry during one of the recording studios or something like. I can't remember really, but you know, just weird things like that. You know, I'm old enough to have enough control over myself, and then the next thing is he's a great guy. I mean, there isn't really anything he's done that's bad, like the things that have been spoken about him, and he's just, you know, my whole family has been such a great support, and they're the ones who've kept me grounded and allowed me to be who I am today. And and no one understands what I'm here for more than they do. You know, they get what I love about music and how it's changed my life. They've witnessed what it's done for me, and so they understand what I want to do while I'm here.
Great. Thank you so much, David. Thank you for sharing your voice and for sharing your grace as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
Next is Katie Byrne with MTV News.
Hey, David, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm not too bad. I was wondering what kind of album you hope to make when you get started on that.
Well, I'd love to still do the pop thing just because, I'm still a teenager and I don't want to... on the show, I was getting a little mature with my songs, even though I love to do that stuff. But, I still want to be able to relate to the kids my age, but still... So I like the pop music, but I still want to have meaning in my music. So I could still do some fun... I'd still like to do some fun stuff along with songs that have more meaning in them. Like, John Mayer and Sarah Bareilles are examples I use to people who have done the more pop side of music, but their music is still like, I call it real. It's real music where it has meaning and depth to it still. Like, they're respected as real musicians and artists.
Definitely. I also kind of wanted to know, how do you think that your experience on Star Search helped you maybe prepare mentally for what Idol was going to be like?
Well, it's weird how different they are. They're both competitions, so and they both required you to edit songs and try to show as much as you could during that small time you had on stage. And it's weird. They're both so different and so similar at the same time, but I guess just that realizing that I needed to focus on the enjoyment of just having fun on stage and really loving what I'm doing. But when I was little, I was just kind of like, I didn't even think I deserved to be on Star Search. I didn't think I was good enough, and I was confused that I kept going on, but I was just, I was such an airhead. Well, I'm still pretty much an airhead, but I was just like, I don't get why people I don't get why I'm still here. I don't, the people I'm going against are better than me and stuff. But it just helped me to really keep focused, I guess, because it's like, I understand that it takes a lot of work to do these kinds of things and to be able to show what you can do in that small amount of time. But this show, fortunately, allowed more time since it lasted longer, and I was able to, I don't know where I'm going with this. But, it allows you to prepare. It knows, how to prepare for the, short edit of the song, but, they're really, it was really completely different experiences, It's just also the age difference. I was so young. Well, I know it sounds weird to me saying I was so young back then, even though it was just a few years ago, but, being 12, I was still, so new to it all, and just, I was just like the little soul kid who was into soulful R&B music. But, I think I've been more identified as a person now and understand myself better now.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Sorry if my my answers were confusing.
Okay, we'll go to Oliver Coleman with OK.
Hi, David.
Hello.
Hi. I saw an interview with you quite a little while ago now, where you said that between schoolwork and music and stuff like that, you don't really have time for a girlfriend and that kind of thing. You're not really interested in that at that time. Is that still true, even now you have all this female attention?
I think, now it's time to really focus on making an album and writing songs and all that. It's just, that's something I just feel like being 17, I'm not really mature enough to understand those feelings yet, and I just don't want to, I've watched so many of my friends just like, oh, we broke up, and how sad my life, I can't live without them. It's like, you're 17. What are you talking about? You have so much more. You need you have school, and, what are you going to do for a living? It's not like you're going to live off of that person or anything. It's not like your infatuation with them is going to support you. But I would just want to make sure I don't, get confused with my, a feeling for someone so quickly, and then, think, I don't know. It just bugs me when kids are like, it's all the drama. I so don't want to deal with the drama right now. I just want to be able to focus on music, and then when I feel like someone, I've met a girl who's, has a great personality and someone I can connect with and has really good standards for themselves and has respect for themselves, but not in like an arrogant way. Just someone who cares about others as well. It's not all about them. I don't know, just something I will definitely want to focus on later on in life when I'm ready. But I just feel like I'm so young. I'm still learning so much, and have to get to know what kind of things I look into someone, because you have to meet a lot of different people and to get your own opinion on someone.
Right, well, there's plenty of time, I guess.
Yeah.
Nigel Lisco said that it got to a stage where the producers felt that you're working so closely with your vocal coach, and I think you had somebody you worked with arrangements with as well as your dad, and working so closely with your dad, it got to be an unfair advantage for you. Do you agree with that? Did you think you had an unfair advantage?
Well, with my vocal coach, all I did with him was do vocal exercises with him.
Right.
So he didn't really do anything. But I would call him every now and then. It wasn't like an everyday thing, but just when I'd feel a little, worn out, like right now. I would just call him and just ask if he could help me loosen up my voice. But, I'm not the only person who's had a vocal coach who's called, and just to help with keeping your voice in shape and keep up the endurance. It's just been something that's helpful, and there have been weeks where I haven't called him, and just, every now and then I would, and he's been great help in teaching me how to keep my voice in shape. But, he hasn't really done anything in help trying to, it's just up to me more what I do on stage, and it's in the moment really too, what you feel when you sing on stage. But yeah, I guess it depends. It's more based on feeling, because I don't know. He hasn't really done too much. Well, he hasn't done anything really with arrangements or anything like that. It's all just been keeping my voice loosened up, as he says.
Thank you. Next we have Cynthia Wong with People Magazine.
Hi there, David.
Hi.
Hi. I wanted to know a little bit more about, you said you've become more comfortable with the cameras and more comfortable with the attention. At what point in the season do you feel that you've turned the tide in that part of the music business?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat it?
Sure. When did you feel during the season you were getting more comfortable in front of the cameras?
I'm not sure. I guess it just kind of slowly happened, because it's like each week you get a little more comfortable in front of the cameras, and well, each time you're on stage you kind of forget that anything is really there, just because you get so into the song, and you want to make sure that you're really express what you wanted to with the song, and so you just, all my attention focuses on the song, well, mostly, sometimes you get a little distracted on stage, but, with I guess it just slowly happened. I mean, even with interviews and pictures, I hated pictures at the beginning of this. I'd always like run away from cameras, because, even just with friends and stuff, I'd always be the one hiding behind a bush or something. That's because I hate looking at myself. I still don't really like looking at pictures of myself, and I've never watched myself on the show. I've always just would do something else after when the show was on, and maybe like my family was watching it or something, and I'd just be like, do 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 do. Can't hear. I can't stand hearing my voice. But I'm okay with just talking on to the camera and stuff as long as I don't have to hear it afterwards, unless maybe I can learn something from it.
Right. Well, as a follow-up to that, you do have a lot of fans, both on the internet and everywhere. Is it difficult dealing with all of that attention, or do you quite enjoy the fact that they enjoy your music so much?
I haven't paid too much attention to the fact that I don't think it really has hit me how many, that there are really fans out there for me. It's just such a weird thought to think, but I do think of it more as like people who have appreciated what I've done, and just all the letters that have been sent. I've tried to read as many as I could, and now with all the spare. Well, I guess it's not really like all the free time because there's a lot of press going on, but there's more free time to be able to read those letters that I wasn't able to catch up on just because it got so busy at the end, and just more and more letters came the longer you're on the show. But just every letter was so unique, and it was neat to see how, so many people, I couldn't believe how many people said that were just saying thank you for singing certain songs, and how my singing was able to inspire them even. A lot of people use the word inspire in their letters, and I was having my teacher read them to me at a certain point because, the only free time I had was during school. Well, my free time, I had to go to school during my free time.
Right.
When other people had their free time, so it's I didn't really have any free time. But so she'd read the letters, and she said, I've never seen so many people use the word inspired in letters, and I just thought that was really cool. The fact that I was able to do that with my music. It wasn't just oh, I'm obsessed with you and marry me and you're so hot and stuff. It was just the fact that people were able to feel what I was trying to give off as I sang is one of the best, the coolest feelings ever.
Oh, it's well-deserved. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from Anna Diamond with TV Guide Online.
Hi, David. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome, of course. I know you're hearing a lot of that. So I'm wondering, you seem to handle everything with such grace and poise. But what, for you, was really the biggest hurdle of this whole experience, or, any roadblocks that you felt during your time on Idol?
Well, I've just tried to, deal with all the struggles throughout this and try to learn from them, really. I try not to look at it as that was a terrible time. I try to think, that was a challenge I was able to learn from. Because if I think the more you stress out about something, the worse time you'll have. And I really didn't want to focus on that kind of stuff when you try to think about, this is such a great experience, and I'll never get this opportunity again. This is just an experience of a lifetime, and I really wanted to enjoy as much of it as I could because, I didn't want any bad experiences from this, and I tried to focus on the good things going on while this all happened because, I just really wanted to have the best time with this, and, when you try to keep a good positive attitude even through the hard things, I think it just affects your overall mood and how you see other things. And I wanted to keep a positive attitude with the songs, but sometimes it get really difficult. With some of the difficult times is when I try arranging a song, and then there's just so many different opinions from the arrangers and producers and stuff, and it get hard because it get confusing when I wouldn't be able to try something. I remember Think of Me that week. It was really difficult because I'm not sure. So many people were saying different things, and I just wanted to. It was definitely a new arrangement for me, and it just. I can't remember why. It was time, but I think it was
okay.
Because it was a time that I tried an arrangement that was completely from my head, and I thought, wow, this is really different. But it was, never mind. Sorry.
Well, it came out well. And secondly, moving on as you pursue your career, do you have any dream collaborations? If you could work with any artist, who would that be?
You know, someone I always thought would be really cool is Alicia Keys. Just because, you know, she's someone that she gets so into her songs when she sings, and you can just feel her emotions as she sings. It's really cool, and just, you know, she plays piano very well, and is a songwriter, and just, I think that would be very awesome. Thank you.
And
Sorry, I'm taking slow with this.
our next question is from Mike Hughes with Gannett News Service.
Hi, David. I just want to follow up on a couple things. For the instruments, if you're a guitar player, obviously you kind of can keep your guitar in your room there. Like for you and Brooke playing the piano, didn't have a piano in your room. Was it hard to find one to practice on then, or?
It did get a little difficult. There were pianos at the studios that we were able to practice on, but later on we were able to get pianos, well, like not really pianos, but you know, cheap little keyboards into our rooms that we were able to practice, which was really, really fortunate because it was pretty rough before. But hopefully I'll be able to find a keyboard to take with me on the road, just because if I want to do it on tour, I'd love to do it on tour, and so I don't want to get rusty or anything, because I still need to work on my piano playing, and I'd love to get every chance I can to practice that with the new free time we have now.
Okay, and then the thing about the school and the career, are you just finishing your senior year of high school now, or?
I'm actually just finishing my junior year.
Okay, so next year, obviously, some people are going to urge you to do like Jordan Sparks did and say, well, just homeschool or something through your last year or GED or something and focus full-time on your music. What are you thinking you're going to be doing this next year?
Well, I'm just seeing where music goes from here, and I think homeschool is a good idea because it's something I've done, and I've probably homeschooled for half of my life, and so it's not anything new to me, and if that does come up where I have to do that, then that's something I'm up for, because it's, you know, something I'm used to doing, and if it made it easier on Jordan to do while handling all the music going on for her, then that's probably the best option for me if, you know, I won't be able to be going to school. But if nothing is going on, if that unfortunate thing comes up, then I would still like to focus on school as much as I can. But for now, I'd just love to take these opportunities that are available right now and to work on music as much as I can. And, you know, I still will focus on school, but right now I do not want to let go of music.
Okay, thank you. And we are out of time. David, do you have any closing remarks?
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone for their time, them wanting to speak with me, even though I'm out of it right now. I'm sorry, I'm a little, just, you know, all the press and stuff, but I really appreciate them, all the support people have been giving, and it means a lot to me when people appreciate the hard work I've been putting into this, and it makes me want to continue this even more.
Okay, thank you. Then, ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our conference for today.